Welcome to the Get Fit with Me, expanding your physical and mental fitness group. This group is for individuals who are ready to expand both their physical and mental fitness while helping and supporting others with similar goals all along the way. I am super excited to share with you the number one hack that you can start doing today, either on this call or after this call, to start implementing healthy habits into your life that is going to change your overall mood, your body, your eating habits. It's a really good first starter. And honestly, it's something that I always come back to, even when I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. And it's something my clients come back to. So I'm excited to share that a little bit later on. But before we get started, I want you to let me know if you are on Facebook. Let me know in the comments if you are here live or if you are catching the replay. I want to know who you are. I want to know where you're from. And I also want to know what you think this hack is. I like to kind of figure out if you guys have an idea. That's what I should have dropped in yesterday's post. But so we do have Carrie on. Carrie, I see you are unmuted. Are you able to talk or are you just here to listen? You are muted.
I'm just here to listen. Okay, there.
Okay.
I'm muted enough to say that, but I'm here to listen.
Perfect. Awesome. So I will just take it as if you have something you want to chime in at, feel free, unmute, chime in. If not, you are just here as a listener, and I'm good with that. I just did not interrupt if you were not in the spot to do that. Perfect. So, like I said, let me know in the Facebook feed, are you here live? Are you watching the replay? Who you are, where you're from, and what you think this hack is. So before we get into it though, I do want to let you guys know that come the first of the year, this group is going to have a little bit of change happening, a little bit of a facelift. So just be aware that there are going to be some changes such as the group name, the cover photo, and some of the other things. Nothing is going to change about the setup though. So every single Thursday at noon, I'm still going to go live. That is not changing. The Zoom link's not changing, none of that. I'm just going to start to do kind of a facelift on it, and we're going to start turning some of our content a different way. So just be on the lookout for that come the new year. I'm in the slow works of putting that together. So as we get into today, I'm going to be sharing with you the number one hack that I have found for myself and for my clients that is a game changer. And when you start with that one thing, it will then spiral into the next, into the next, into the next. If during this you're like, well, I already do that thing and I'm still stuck at where I'm at. If you find that you are that person that is feeling that way, drop me in the comments and I will give you the next step after this. I will help get you to that next step of, I do this one thing, I already do this thing consistently. What is my next step? So drop me throughout this call at any point if you're like, I want that next step besides what I'm teaching you today. So for this training, the number one hack that I have found is daily walks. And I know it sounds simple. Oh, it's a daily walk. But if you can incorporate a daily walk of at least 20 minutes, ideally 20 to 30 minutes is that ideal time frame, but 5 minutes is better than no minutes. I like to try to do a 20-minute walk every single day. So there's a lot of benefits to this. One of the great benefits is if you are somebody who doesn't walk, it's going to help you either maintain weight loss, maintain your weight, or it's going to help you lose weight because when you incorporate that walk, you are all of a sudden going to be doing that intentional movement and your body's going to be burning more calories. So if you are someone who's been kind of stuck in that plateau of eating my nutrition and I'm doing the things, but I'm at this plateau, are you doing daily walks of 20 minutes? 20-minute daily walks. Some other benefits that come is when we walk, it helps prevent various conditions that we can have if we don't take care of ourselves, such as heart disease, stroke, blood pressure, cancer, type 2 diabetes. A 20-minute walk every single day can help prevent you from getting, or I don't want to say attracting those, but end up with those types of conditions later in life, or maybe right now you're dealing with some of those. Implementing that walking will help you. Another thing it's going to do is it's going to improve your cardiovascular fitness. We want to strengthen our heart. We want to strengthen our muscles in our body through strength training, but we want to strengthen our heart through cardio. And a lot of times when we do things throughout your day, you may notice your heart rate gets up and then it comes down. That 20 to 30 minutes of walking is a steady state cardio. And when I use steady state cardio, I mean that you are keeping the same exact pace the entire time. And a way to tell if you can do this and if you're in a good range is the talk test. So if you are somebody who walks really slow and you could have a whole conversation and talk, all, like if you had people around you could just keep talking without having to like have any issues. You're not walking fast enough. If you are all of a sudden out of breath, having to keel over, cannot hold a conversation, you are walking too fast. You want to be able to walk at a pace that allows you to have a general conversation with a friend or a family member. So a really good way to even test this out is to walk with a friend, call somebody, and as you're walking, see where your breathing goes. Are you taking big, deep breaths? Are you breathing really heavy? If so, slow your pace down, because we want to be able to keep that heart rate about equal the entire time of that walk. Or maybe you're the one gabbing the whole time and your friend hasn't got a word in. Maybe that means we pick up the pace a little bit and we let your friend talk. So having a nice steady state rhythm throughout the entire length of your walk is key to this 20-minute walk every single day. It's going to help with that cardiovascular fitness. It's going to make that heart so much stronger. Another thing it's going to do is it's going to help strengthen your bones and your muscles. So, which is in turn going to ease the joint pain. So as we get older, if we are not doing strength training or walking and we're not putting impact on our bones, what happens is our bones start to become weak. And you may or you may not know this, but if you look at two people later in life, the individual who is lighter in weight is going to have a higher chance of osteoporosis than that person that weighs more. Reason being is the person who weighs more has more weight to carry around naturally. So what that means for that person who weighs less is you have to be super intentional about, am I putting impact on my bones and my joints to make them stronger? It sounds weird when you say impact makes them stronger, but it does. So think about, where are you? Are you someone who does a lot of walking? Are you someone who does a lot of strength training no matter what your weight is? If you are, awesome. You're already creating that impact on those bones. You're making it stronger. You're making your joints stronger, which long-term is going to help with your arthritis, your osteoporosis, and all those things around that. If you are not walking, implement walking. You don't have to walk with weight on. You don't have to walk with a bunch of things. Just walk. Because we got to start getting that impact happening. It's going to make you stronger in your muscles and your joints. It's also going to improve your muscular endurance. So I don't know about you, but I know if I have taken some time away from my health and walking or doing something or strength training, if I've taken time away and I'm coming back, my legs are sore. My arms are sore. There's like a fatigue that happens. And it happens quicker than when I'm consistently doing my walking or strength training. Same thing applies here. If you are walking for 20 minutes, you are going to start out and your muscles are going to feel fatigued probably sooner. You may get to that 10-minute mark and feel like, wow, my legs are kind of feeling heavy, kind of feeling like that really, like they're kind of rocks that we're moving. Well, the more consistent you are, that 10-minute feeling you get at 10 minutes, now it doesn't happen until you hit that 15-minute mark. Then it doesn't happen until that 20-minute mark. And then maybe it doesn't happen because you stop your walks at 20 minutes and you recover faster. So although we feel like when we do walking and cardio that we're focusing on that heart, we are still really focused on our muscle endurance. We're doing the same thing over and over and over again for 20 minutes. We're taking one foot and stepping it in front of the other. That is going to create that endurance. Some other benefits are it's going to improve your mood, your cognition, your memory, and your sleep. I don't know how many people that I talk to that are lay awake at night restless because I've got so much going on in my mind. Walking is a perfect outlet for that. If you have things going on in your mind, I get in the middle of the night, it's probably not the best time to go walk, but have you walked earlier in the day to let your mind just get out? Like, let what you're thinking get out. Have you tired yourself out enough? A lot of times when we come to sleep and we're restless, we haven't tired ourselves out enough during the day to really be tired. That daily walk is going to help make you use more energy and going to make you more tired at night. But during, it's going to give you more energy right after because it's going to give you endorphins, which makes you happy and makes us energized and upbeat. So there is a combo between sleep, energy, so it's going to make you tireder later in the day, but it's going to give you more energy in the moment. So like you guys have seen, I have my treadmill that's under my desk because I am a fair weather fan. I do not like to go outside when it is cold. We have had pretty nice weather here the last couple of days, but when I feel like I'm out of a state of, I've been looking at this computer screen and I'm just struggling to get this done. Like my mind is just not there. I step on the treadmill and something about it kicks in and I don't want to use the word more motivated, but my energy level is higher. I can focus better. And I'm like, okay, all these pieces, this 4-piece puzzle now all fits together, whereas before it didn't. So there is studies that show movement helps you think better and more clearly. And that 20 minutes of walk is a perfect amount to start with. It's also going to improve your balance and coordination, especially if you are someone who walks outside. Think about all the uneven surfaces in life. If we can be walking out in the neighborhood for 20 minutes, stepping over cracks, going around puddles, all that's going to improve our balance and our coordination long-term, which often we don't focus on until something happens and we're like, crap, my balance is being altered until I have a fall or until I'm diagnosed with something. So if you can start walking and start increasing your balance and coordination now, it's going to help you in the long term. Also, if you do have a treadmill under your desk, you will learn how to walk and type and move a mouse without falling off the treadmill. Balance and coordination right there. So there's different things that we can do and that walking does for us that's more than just cardiovascular and muscular. Another really good thing that I kind of talked about earlier is when our mind is racing, we usually have some stress or tension that's happening. And those walks help reduce that stress and tension that we hold on to. We hold on to it. We do until there's a breakdown or until something else happens. And then we forget about that thing, we move on to something else. And a lot of times we don't have the best coping mechanisms for stress. Some of us go get massages, some of us exercise, some of us journal, some of us pray. We all may have our own version of how we relieve stress and tension. But I have found a way that helps me is those walks. And if you can get outside, if you can get the fresh air, they are more effective because it gets you away from this in front, gets you away from your screen, put some music in, get outside, have the fresh air, breathe it in, let yourself reset and let the tension and stress go away. And I know that is easier said than done, but if I know I have high stress days, I may get 2 to 3 walks in. Anytime I have a break, I may be going and just doing a lap around the block because I know that when I come back to work or when I come back to the situation, I'm more clear-headed and I'm able to tackle it rather than letting it control me. I can then control the situation. Another cool thing that walking 20 minutes a day for 5 days a week, studies show that it's going to boost your immune function. And the study said 20 minutes per day, 5 days a week. People who did that had 43% less sick days than those who did not. And I know these days we want to use our sick time for when we are actually sick, and maybe sometimes we're using it for others, but we want to use it for things that if we can prevent being sick, why not prevent that? If we know, and I know you guys have kids, and you're probably using those sick times for when your kids are sick and you have to be there, save it for that. Be healthy. Get yourself walking, lower that risk of getting sick and having to take time off so you can save those sick days for your kids. So those are a bunch of benefits of walking 20 minutes a day. And the list could keep going on and on. But I'm not just about telling you, great, do this. Now we have to implement it. So currently in the Commit to Your Health program that is going on right now with some amazing moms, we focus on taking one small step. They've all made one commitment, and I'm gonna share with you exactly what I do with them. And it's something I've already taught you guys, but it's how we have to look at things. So like I said, the goal is 20 minutes of walking at a pace that you can have your heart rate up, but you are not out of breath, a pace that you can talk and have a general conversation the entire time. I know 20 minutes is not feasible for some of you right now. I get that. It's not feasible for me every day. I get that. So with that being the case, I want you to, if you are going to implement this, which is the easiest thing you can do to hack your health, is incorporate walking every single day. If you're going to take this on and implement this, I want you to realistically think, how many minutes can I commit to every single day? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 15? Is it the whole 20? There is no wrong answer here. So I want you, if you are in the chat, I want you to drop how many minutes you are going to commit to this. And then we track it. So part of the program, we use an awesome accountability program that we can see the tracking. We actually check in and I can see it, and also you can see it. So I can check in and say, did you do it or did you not? Well, you don't have to have the app to do that. You can create your own calendar, and on days that you get it done, you put a smiley face, and on days you don't get it done, you put a frowny face. I like to call it the the potty chart, but it's like it's an accountability calendar. But you get a sticker if you did it. You don't get a sticker if you don't. And the more times you do it, the more stickers you get, and the longer the streak is, the faster you get to that prize. And that prize is feeling good and feeling better physically and mentally. So with that being the case, I want you to pick how many minutes you are committing to every single day. Once you have committed to that number and you have consistently done it for at least 14 days, then you can bump that number up a little bit. But if we fall off, if we hit day 5 and then we don't do it, if we hit day 5 and we don't do it, you're not bumping that number up. You're keeping that number of 5 minutes every single day until you can do it 14 days consistently. Another thing that I know may hang some of you up is, I don't like walking. It is cold. It is not fun. This is boring. I really don't think there's going to be benefits. I know, I've heard it. I want you to keep it simple. It doesn't have to be this overcomplicated thing. Start with those 5 minutes, bundle up, call a friend. 5 minutes goes by really quickly when you are talking to somebody else. Find a podcast that you exclusively only listen to when you walk. Find a playlist you exclusively only listen to when you walk. Heck, on these calls, join us and go for your walk every single Thursday at noon. Go do your 20-minute walk while you listen. Only listen to this replay when you're out for your walk. And there's a bunch. So if you're new to the group and you're like, oh, I can listen to all of them. Yes, listen to them all. And these are longer than 20 minutes usually. So you can pause it and come back to it when your next walk. Find a book that you're exclusively going to listen to. If you are in the Lansing area, Hoopla, Hoopla, I think. If you have a Capital Area District Library card, which is free. You can download Hoopla and you can have digital ebooks for free, which is awesome because I'm not a huge reader and I don't want to pay for a book that I may not like, but I can test out as many as I want through Hoopla. That is how I get myself out, or I have a podcast on those days when it is hard. So something else that you can do is schedule it. Try to make it happen earlier in your day rather than later if your schedule allows. So you've picked your 5 minutes. You now have, I'm going to do 5 minutes and I'm going to listen to my favorite podcast when I walk. Well, now how do we make sure that happens? You have to schedule it. And I use the Google Calendar, and I could show you that, and it would be super probably overwhelming to a lot of you. But I schedule my life to a T. When things are not scheduled, things don't happen because I forget about them. It's just how it is. So put it on your schedule. Put it at your lunchtime. When you have your lunch break, take 5 minutes of your lunch break to go walk. Maybe it's right in the morning, right when you get out of bed and you have to go out and do horse chores. Before you get out to horse chores, go do your 5 minutes of walking up and down the driveway, then go out and feed the horses. Make it fit in and know where it's going to be each day. If we show up each day with, I have 5 minutes of walking to do, but we don't figure out where it's going to be, what's going to happen is we're going to get to dinner time or after dinner and we're going to be like, excuse my language, shit, I have to do that now. And we dread it rather than feeling excited about it. And by starting with that 5 minutes, you may dread it to start, and that's okay. But eventually you'll learn to really enjoy them. They're time for yourself. They're time for you to listen and talk to somebody that you maybe don't always get to talk to. So we talked about walking is the #1 hack for your health that you can start doing today. Start small, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Pick 5, 10, or 15 minutes, or 20. 5, 10, 15, or 20 minutes. Make the commitment. How many minutes are you committed to doing every single day starting today? What are you going to do during that time? Is there something specific that you're going to pair with it to make it more enjoyable? And then put it on your calendar. And if you are someone who doesn't use a calendar, we need to connect because I'll get you on the calendar route. Life runs smoothly, especially if we feel like we're always trying to play catch up. Calendar and planning is key to that. So with that being the case, if you want extra help, so if you're someone who already walks and you're like, okay, that wasn't really a hack, I already do that, what's my next step? Drop me in the comments and I'll tell you your next step. But if we can't consistently walk every day and do something so simple and small for ourselves and make that a habit, the next step is going to be even harder. So let's start here. Let's build on that. Let's get that win happening. Let's feel good about hearing, I've been doing this for 8 days in a row. I'm on an 18-day streak, whatever that looks like. Get that happening. Be consistent with it, and you will be amazed on what physically and mentally changes in your life. So drop me if you want the next step. And also, if you want to kind of figure out how to schedule this into your life and kind of look at this commitment a little bit more in depth with just you and have a little bit deeper of a conversation, just drop walk in the comments and I'll reach out. We'll have a dialogue. I will help you set that commitment up in a way that's going to be successful for you. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments here. I also want to know, as you're dropping any questions, I want to know, what was your biggest takeaway from today? Did you know that it was going to be walking? Did you know a 20-minute walk was going to be the hack? Or did you think it was going to be something else? Did you think it was going to be easier or harder than what I shared? Whatever it was, I want to hear your biggest takeaway. I want to hear any of your questions. Remember, this chat lives on, so if you're watching this replay months later, that's okay. Still use the chat. I still stay up on them. And then as we move into the new year, I want to remind you that we will be having a facelift in this group, and I'm really excited about it. And there's going to be some awesome new things that I'm creating for next year. So if you have any interest in kind of talking about what types of things I offer, the first of the year, there's going to be a really long list because, like I said, I've got this awesome new tool that the Commit to Your Health ladies are getting to use right now. And it's just going to keep growing. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know how many minutes you are committing to implementing that walking. I'm excited to see what you guys do and where you are a week from now. I'll see you all next week.